Initially, it was about what we thought it would be. It was moving a little fast on him. Missed a couple of tackles early that I think he made later in the game. I think once he got into the flow of it, he played really well. And he's a really productive kid. I mean, he made a play. It was in the second quarter on it was a 3-by-1 formation, number 3 vertical, and he went and grabbed number 3 and broke the throw up to the tight end. Like, that's a coverage that I'd say probably about 28 of the 32 NFL teams play, and I'd say about 20 of them have a guy that can do that. So, yeah, I think he played really well. We're excited about him moving forward.
Was that the moment where maybe you thought, okay, he's adapting to this, he's starting?
No, I mean, I thought that going in. I just think when you're a quarterback and you're having to play and you get to hand the ball off some, throw a bowl screen, and all of a sudden you're taking on guards every play. It's just different. I think once he settled in, he was pretty good.
How do you expect to rotate in Dominic Ross now?
Yeah, Dominic does a lot of things. So we've been – I think we have a problem that we anticipated having. So, I think Dominic can go out and play on the edge some. We can play them both together some. We have some packages where all 3 of them are in the game. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to expand upon now that Dominic's back.
Mike has mentioned he thinks that not tackling as much in the offseason due to concussions and those concerns makes at least the first week, maybe early periods, kind of sloppy. Did you see that Saturday, maybe guys knocking off some rust?
Yeah, I think going in we kind of knew that was going to be the case. Miles missed a few tackles early that I don't think he misses. And he was disappointed in him. I was disappointed too. But we knew once we got into the flow of it, tackling is a skill we work on a lot. But it's kind of like one of those skills you work on and you never really do it until you go out and play in a game full speed and you've got to launch your body. And I think once we settled down, I thought we tackled really well.
How was your tackling approach different than most other people?
I think a lot of people are going to it. I think, I think with the way that the head injuries have gone, I think you had to, I got after Trey Morrison yesterday because he should never have been injured on that play if he tackled the way we want him to tackle. And so I think, to try to, the old way of getting your head involved in the tackle, I just think that's asking for trouble nowadays. Kids are too fast, too strong. So I think, the rugby tackling, we emphasize that. You can practice that more. We do it in the summer with them. I tell them, hey, when you're out there in the summer and you're doing player-led practice, man, go out there and get that rugby ring out and work on it. And I think we've gotten better at it. I think Miles Wolford tackled really well on Saturday, and a lot of them showed up just like we practice. So, I think a lot of it is angles. We talk about bad misses versus good misses. A couple of Dorn's misses were good misses, where the ball was a lot of times safety, you're coming down from a long distance to go make that tackle. You've got to take the right angle, and you've got to get the ball turned the right way. And then if everybody else is playing hard, it's usually not a big deal if you miss. But if you miss on the wrong side, that's a big deal. And so I think we talk about good misses and bad misses, and I think once we settled down, when we did miss, they were good misses. And that's usually you can usually survive those.
Jay, you mentioned last week that with Cam Kelly that it would pep you up to have him. So now how do you sort of get him into the fold now after last week?
Yeah, it was hard last week because, you kind of, if you give him a bunch of reps and he's not able to go, you feel like you kind of cheated your defense a little bit. So I think now that he'll be ready to go, there's a couple spots we'll try to work him into. But he's a really bright kid, and he's a good player, and he's going to play a lot here once he gets settled in.
Did the mental reps, you talk about guys getting mental reps when you can't do everything they want to do for game prep. I guess did he do as much of that as you could hope, everything you can do to that point?
Yeah, not as much a week ago because, we didn't think we'd have him. So I think we found out, Thursday, and then on Thursday we got him some reps, and then Friday morning walkthrough he got some mental reps. But I anticipate him this week being full go with us on defense.
Have you worked in both at corner? Max is going to play safety, but is he
all three?
Play
Corner, nickel, and safety.
All three.
He's really smart. 4.0.
Jay, Mac talked about you being more comfortable coaching from the sidelines. I'm just curious, why is that?
I've done it both ways. I think 2 things. I think number one, I can look in their eyes, and they hear from me so much that I think it's like they hear from me, Sunday through Friday night, and then Saturday I'm up in the press box and it's getting filtered through somebody else's mouth. It's not quite the same. I can look in their eyes. I can tell when I need to get after them, when I need to love them up. Kind of a little bit of that situation. And then I think so much of the stuff we do now is check from the sideline. So much of it is, okay, they're in this, let's get out of this. They're in this, let's get into this. That I just think when I'm in the press box and I've got to get that down to the signaler, I'm not as good at it as I am when I'm on the sideline. I can see it faster.
At what point in your career did you make that switch?
When I was at Ball State, I did it both. When I was at Army, I did a couple games. I went up. Part of it depends on who you're playing a little bit, but I'm just more comfortable down. So and Tommy did a great job in the booth. So I mean, and Jeff Schottmer's up there with him, who's a really smart young coach, who was a great player here. So I'm getting great feedback from the booth. But I think the tempo, being able to get in and out of subs and some of those things is more important.
Jay, before last season, the previous coaching staff was pretty open that Aaron Crawford they thought was the best player on defense. Of course, he got hurt last year. Just curious your thoughts of how he played Saturday and kind of what he means to this defensive front.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you got an inside shade, a defensive tackle who can consistently dominate, which I thought he did Saturday, it makes a lot of things work. It's kind of like baseball. You kind of got to be good up the middle. So I think Aaron's a good player. I think Jason Strobridge is a dynamic player. So I think having both of them makes me a really good coach.
What kind of conversation did Aaron's pancake like giving you?
Yeah, they like that. They like that. Yeah, we were in dinner last night. We had some highlights. I actually didn't see it until I saw it. Sunday when we watched it. But yeah, it was, for a kid who's somewhere around 300 pounds, depending on what he had for breakfast, to on the what I think it was like his 52nd play of the game, to run that fast to go clean somebody up. Yeah, you got a shot.
How much did you play Strobridge and Crawford and Bill situation? How did you kind of work that out?
So we went in. Crawford played probably about 70%, and Jalil played about 30% of that position. We wanted it probably to be a little bit closer to 50-50, but we got some breaks in there, and Aaron was pretty fresh. Tim did a really good job managing their reps. I think at the end they were still fresh. I mean, Strobridge picks up that last fumble, which I still think was a fumble, but and runs with it. I mean, he looked pretty fast to me. So Strobridge, we kind of Ray played some, Zach Gill played some, so we kind of managed their reps some that way. I think Aaron probably played a little bit less than Jason, but it's about the same.
You guys don't have a ton of time with these kids, so alluding to Aaron's block, how much do you work with the defensive guys on when you get a turnover, turning around and becoming blockers?
Yeah, we do it once or twice a year. We'll work on what we call interception drill. The two guys that usually make the tackle are the quarterback and the guy they throw it to. So we try to get the guy they throw it to blocked, we try to get the quarterback blocked, and then everybody else try to get him to the sideline. And it's all when it's a DB. Like Miles picked it off on our sideline, they're going to always run across the field. Like it's like a written rule. So you try to get them to come to the near sideline, but it's never going to happen. So you better go to the far sideline and block. But they did. I think Miles just ran out of gas. We had a chance to score right there, I thought. So.
Coach Brown talked about Greg Ross and just how he performed, especially the shape of the secondary, and just how impressive.
Yeah, Greg. I got a lot of confidence in Greg. I think he played really well. I mean, we in the first half, we were traveling Trey with 89, and then Trey obviously got injured, and we put Greg over there. And then in the second half, we came out and I said to Dre, I said to Coach Bly, I said, "What do you think?" He said, "I kind of feel like leaving Greg on him." And we did, and he played really well. And a lot of our coverages against South Carolina were tilted towards where that kid was a little bit. So he had to really he had a lot more to process than because now you got to be able to play the field corner, the boundary corner, handle all the nickel adjustment depending on what we were doing. So he did a really good job, and I thought he made some big plays. I think they threw the slant on us in the last drive. He made a really nice tackle. He was a really good throw and catch, and then he came back like 2 plays later and they tried to go up top on him, and I thought he defended it really, really well. I don't know if a year ago he would have handled that as well. So I'm impressed with how he's worked. I think he's a good player.
You had used Storm Duck, obviously, maybe more than you wanted to. What did you see out of
True.
him? What did you see out of his play?
He survived. Yeah. We put him in the first play. We played man coverage. He played zone coverage. So that wasn't very good. But I thought after that he settled in pretty good. And after the game I said, you're ready to go now. Storm's going to be a good player. He's really talented. I'm not sure he's quite ready for prime time yet, but he got in there and did a good job. And I think he'll be better. I think he was better on special teams after that. And I think he'll be better on special teams and as the fourth corner as it progresses.
After both interceptions, Miles Wolf brought out the turnover
belt.
Yeah. Did you know about that, and what were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I did know about it. Yes. So, yeah, Coach Bly is in charge of the turnover belt. So, but it was fun. Yeah, the kids like it. They like it. Great.
Thoughts about Miami? What worries you about them?
How much time we got? I think they've got some real skill at wide receiver. I think the 2 tight ends are both NFL guys. I think the tailback's a great player, tough competitor. Willed them you could just see him just pulling the team along in that first game, Dallas, number 13. So I think we've got to do a great job covering. I think the quarterback's really talented. He's a young kid. Florida's got a bunch of really good players up front on defense, and they played like it in that first game. But I think we got a real challenge on our hands. I think the wide receivers are really skilled. The one kid, number 2, Osborne, he was at Buffalo last year. We played him in Army, and they threw a little now screen. I think everybody in our defense missed him. So I got a lot of respect for their skill.
You guys good?
How has Mac kind of coached you guys, the coaching staff, on positivity and body language and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, he creates a positive environment for all of us, and I think Coach Brown, he's got a Hall of Fame plaque, so he's seen it all, So I think when he tells you, hey, this is the way you should handle it, usually he's right. So, I think he's trying to create an environment where our kids are free to go play. And I think when kids are happy and they're able to go play and feel positive, and a mistake isn't the end of the world, then life goes on, So I think you got to go play the next play. And we talk all the time about playing the next play, every snap independent of the one before and the one after on defense. And so I think it just builds to that culture.